I want you to listen very carefully to what Elon Musk said will happen to our economy if Trump gets reelected. Musk says Trump's economic plans could cause temporary hardship. But there's more. If Trump succeeds in forcing through mass deportations combined with Elon Musk hacking away at the government, firing people, and reducing the deficit, there will be an initial severe overreaction in the economy, an anonymous user posted on X. He goes on to say markets will tumble. But when the storm passes and everyone realizes we are on sounder footing, there will be a rapid recovery to a healthier, sustainable economy. And Elon says, sounds about right. And we've already seen that conservative economists say that Trump's policies could derail our economic upswing. If Trump carries out his promises, the resulting inflation would slow down America's economic growth. His three major economic proposals are highly inflationary and would produce a U.S. economic contraction by 2026. Labor shortages in construction, agriculture, and other industries, and an increase in U.S. labor costs would be passed on to consumers, increasing inflation, slowing down growth. I want you to think about something here. This guy says there will be a rapid recovery to a healthier, sustainable economy, and Musk says sounds about right. But what I want you to think about is healthier, sustainable economy for who? Think about when there's hardship for you and your family. What happens? You don't have a lot of cash. You have to go into debt. Credit card companies benefit off of this. Maybe you have to lose your home. Your home gets foreclosed. Who benefits from this? The banks, Wall Street, corporations who buy up all the affordable housing. And all of a sudden, if lots and lots of Americans are foreclosing on their homes, who's coming in to buy them? Who's going to benefit off of that? Same with your investment portfolio. If you have to dump all of your investments because you've got bills to pay, you've got kids, you've got parents to take care of, who comes in to buy all those shares that you panic sell? The world's 10 richest men more than doubled their fortunes from $700 billion to $1.5 trillion during the first 2 years of a pandemic that has seen the incomes of 99% of humanity fall and over 160 million more people forced into poverty. So if Trump's plans temporarily cause the economy, the stock market, the housing market to absolutely crash, who's benefiting? Sounds about right. Who benefits? Here's what you can do as an investor to make sure that if Trump gets reelected and the economy absolutely gets tanked, you're still going to walk out ahead. If you've been a follower of mine for a while, when I open that drawer, you know what it means. This is my original wish list from November 2008. These were all the stocks that I wanted to buy when I was like 23 years old or something like that. Bank of America, Starbucks, Coach, which no longer exists, Club no longer exists, Chipotle, $38. Look at these, Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, Toyota, McDonald's, Honda for some reason hasn't really moved at all. But the point is, I saw that this recession was coming, the housing crisis, and I said, oh my God, I'm 23, I'm working double shifts in the restaurant industry, I live at home with my mommy, I'm not spending any money on rent, I don't have a mortgage, I don't have kids, I have a ton of money in the bank from working these double shifts. I need to start doing some investing. So the very first thing you need to do is create an emergency savings account. Just open up a high yield savings account anywhere, it doesn't matter. I know people like to obsess over, well, this one's 4.5 and this one's 4.53 and this one's 4.27. It doesn't matter. Just pick a high yield savings account, open it, start depositing some money into it. Now, as the Fed cuts rates, those high yield savings rates will drop. This is a big misconception. People think you're locked in on the rate, right? So many content creators go, open the high yield savings now before it's too late. It's going to be too late. If you open it tomorrow and the Fed cuts rates, your rates are going down. You're not locked in, but you still need to have one. Have 6 to 12 months of emergency money set aside. And I know that this is going to be hard for a lot of people out there who are struggling right now, but there are things you can do. You can cut back. I know it might not seem like a lot. People go, well, I like having my Starbucks and my stuff like that. I get it. I'm not saying Starbucks is the reason you can't afford a house, but it could be the reason. All these little things, streaming on every single service, buying clothes, buying shoes, buying all the unnecessary things you do not actually need are limiting you right now from preparing. Have a high yield savings account, live below your means, focus on building up that emergency savings for 2 things. 1, in case you get laid off, and 2, to go shopping if there is a recession. Another thing you can do as an investor is insulate your portfolio. So I want you to think about what happens in a stock market recession or an economic recession, heavy hitters, big tech stocks are usually the first to drop, whereas consumer staple stocks, stuff that we need and we're going to be using no matter what happens in the world. We're going to be buying toilet paper, we're going to be buying food, even if it's more expensive, even if we're buying less. You want to find companies that are either dividend kings or dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have raised their dividend consistently every single year. I just want to show you what I mean. Surely you have some products in your house that are made by Procter and Gamble. And if you look at their dividend here, their dividend safety has a B for dividend safety. And look at this, their dividend growth, 68 years. Johnson & Johnson, 61 years. Waste Management, dividend safety grade, A minus, 20 years of dividend growth. You're going to be having your trash taken out no matter what's going on in the economy. Coca-Cola, dividend safety grade, B minus, 61 years of dividend growth. Man, my screen is really dirty. Sorry about that. If you don't want to own individual stocks, you could look at ETFs like consumer staples. This is XLP, the consumer staples, up 18% in the last year, up 31% in the last 5 years, up 68% in the last decade, has a pretty good dividend, and these are their top 10 holdings. And this is XLU, a utilities ETF. They also have a pretty okay dividend, up 30% in the last 12 months, up 24% in the last, 23% in the last 5 years, and up 70% in the last decade. And these are their top 10 holdings. You might recognize some of these companies. As a long-term investor, you just can't go wrong with an S&P 500 index fund. You can see that they're up around 180% in the last decade. They also have a pretty good dividend. Well, not really. Their dividend kind of sucks, but it insulates your portfolio because it gives you exposure to 506 companies that make up the S&P 500. In times of economic turbulence or uncertainty, these kinds of stocks and these kinds of sectors always do okay. They might still go down, but they might not go down as much as something that is way more volatile like startups or tech stocks. If you want to learn how to invest actually for free, unlike every other finance content creator who says they're here to teach you about investing, but they're really just here to get rich off of you, all of my resources are actually free. There's not an email sign up, there's no Venmo, there's no PayPal, there's no Patreon, there's nothing. Let me show you. All you need to do is go right here. You can read some of my blog posts if you want, but what you're really after is everything under the menu. It's actually free, all of it, including my free resource guide. Let me just show you. You click on it and it opens to the links. There's no subscribe, there's no put in your email. It's just all here and it's all free. When the super mega ultra wealthy people speak, you need to listen and you need to have a plan. You also need to smash that follow. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.